Welcome to Dramatic Africa. My name is Dylan, and I'm going to be the host for today's homemade documentary, a one-year anniversary tribute to Hukumuri, a king of kings, one of the dominant male leopards within the Sabi Sands private nature reserve. The Sabi Sands Private Nature Reserve is located on the western boundary of the Greater Kruger National Park and is comprised of several different private properties that came together to form this game reserve, which eventually dropped their fences with the Kruger. Some other properties Hukumuri may have ventured into are Londolozi and Mala. As I come to share with you some of the most epic encounters that I've had with Hukumuri, we will come to learn more about him and his habits. One of them being his favorite animal to hunt, a warthog. Here he hunts a large female warthog which hides within her warren. This knowledge and skill would be passed down from mother to daughter or son, giving her offspring a particular set of skills and knowledge to help overcome a certain animal's defense mechanisms. These animals being in particular either a porcupine or a warthog.
See, that's it. Yeah, that water got in.
Fortunately enough for the warthog, Hukumuri decides that it's too much of a challenge to be taken on right now. He's going to head off, find some shade, and have a rest and wait for the night to set in. As Hooks gathers his energy, I will take this time to introduce to you the rest of the family. Here in red you will see Hukumuri's territory, in the yellow you will see Tiani, and here she is. Tiani meaning the strong one, and her young cub Nzutini. And Nzutini meaning the one who likes the shade. As you can see how she disappears under my vehicle, the reason she got this name. Next up, here in the orange, is Shidulu and her young cub Kara. With Hukumuri being the father of both Kara and Nzutini, and then having strong mothers in Shidulu and Tiani, gives both these cubs a great start at life. Thirdly, in blue, we have Moya. Moya meaning wind. She is a particularly old leopard within this area. She is losing dominance and thus getting pushed onto the outskirts where it is difficult for her to raise a litter of cubs successfully. Last of all, in purple, we have Soseka, a relatively young female leopard which has moved into the area. She's left her mum 3 months previously and is attempting to set up and establish herself a territory. As Hukumuri wakes up from his afternoon nap and prepares for the night ahead, who knows what challenges lay before him. Whether that be a fight with another male over disputed territory, or wrestling with a hyena over another kill. As Hukumuri uses the night to his advantage, he moves down the road as a path of least resistance toward a piece of buffalo dung. He proceeds to lick and wet the dung, releasing some of its scent in order to mask his own. This is all in preparation for the night's hunt. Many other carnivore species will display this act of scent rubbing around the chin, neck, temples and back. In many cases it has to do with territorial scent markings, but in this case, with Hukumuri, it is not to leave a scent, but rather to cover one. These nocturnal cats have the ability to see around 6 times better than humans at night. They also have the ability to quickly adjust from light to dark situations. Therefore, the spotlight does not hinder his abilities as a hunter at all. His prey items do not have this adaptation, Therefore, if there are any prey species within the immediate area, we do not have any lights on. We'll allow the interaction to unfold before us and resume after the kill has taken place or the animal has escaped. A successful hunt. Hukumuri has hoisted a young male impala into a marula tree. This particular behavior is often displayed in areas where there is a high volume of predators. In the Sabi Sands, there are two hyena clans, namely the Djuma clan, whose den site is to the east of Hukumuri's territory, and the Elephant Plains clan, whose den site is on the western boundary, with the Elephant Plains clan being roughly between 50 and 80 members strong. Hoisting a kill not only gives the leopard an advantage over other predator species, but the remains also act as a territorial display. Being able to store his kill, he now has the opportunity to rest, or possibly quench his thirst at the nearest water source. After a meal the night before and a successful patrol in the morning, it is now time to check in with some of his family, Tiani and Inzutini. Inzutini approaches the camera and proceeds to drop down into the riverbed, where she meets Hukumuri and Tiani and prepares for some family bonding. Such social interactions between a male leopard and his cub are thought to be incredibly rare, with most interactions resulting in something called infanticide, where the male will come in and kill the cub, bringing the female back into estrus and ensuring that his bloodline is the only one to continue. As family time comes to an end, Hukumuri proceeded to go on a patrol of his western boundary. Here he came into contact with one of the other dominant males within this area, whom I think to be the Anderson male. As you can see, he has some superficial injuries around his right ear. These types of injuries will not take long to heal at all. Within a week you will barely be able to notice that it even happened. You can see from this clip how well his previous injury to his ear has healed and is almost unnoticeable. Hukumuri spots the young female leopard, Soseka, up a marula tree with a deka kill. He comes in to steal the kill from her. Purposely or not, Soseka knocks the kill from the tree, allowing there to be a bit of space between her and Hukumuri. This is what I know to be their first meeting.
Hyena coming.
A hyena joins the scene and forces Hukumuri to take the kill back up the tree. Soseka, feeling trapped and not knowing where to go, she takes this moment where Hukumuri knocks the kill out of the tree and makes her escape out the back of the marula. Let's watch that again. Here you can see Hukumuri takes full advantage, knowing that a hyena is a young individual and may lack confidence. He jumps out of the tree, grabbing the kill before landing on top of the hyena, wrestling it free and running back up the tree again. Hukumuri finishes off the Dacre remains left behind by Soseka. This only being a few scraps, he is now headed off into an area where he sees a lot of activity for one of Africa's most elusive critters, the aardvark. As he looks around for any fresh signs or holes uncovered from the aardvark digging into a fresh termite mound. Unfortunately for him, these are clever creatures. They will often turn around in their burrow and block the entrance so that predators cannot get to him. For him, it's off into the night. When attempting to identify individual leopards, we start looking at markings such as whisker markings. This is the top row of spots located just above their whiskers, where they will have a certain number of spots on either side of their face, and this will allow you to identify each leopard. In areas where a leopard population may be thin and the G pool may not be as diverse, these markings may be similar. Then we switch to markings around the eyes or possibly around the neck. For instances such as Osana, he almost has a solid ring which looks like a necklace. Hukumuri's territory covers an area of roughly 40 square kilometers with a perimeter of about 27 kilometers. This male could walk his entire perimeter of his territory within a day and a half. A male leopard may mark his territory every few days or after rain. This is to ensure he maintains a boundary as well as a presence within his territory. As the first rains set in and hint as to what is to come, Moya's body is telling her that now is the time. She's coming into season. And as you can see her courting Hukumuri, this would be a good time for Moya to fall pregnant because it should coincide with the lambing of the impalas. This should allow her time and easy kills to provide for herself as her growing cub matures. This is what we've been waiting for. The Prince of Africa showing us what he's really made of. This union between Moya and Hukumuri may last up to several days, with repetitive matings taking place every 15 to 30 minutes. This repetition ensures the female ovulates during this time, and there is a higher chance of insemination. A female leopard may also seek out a few males if they are within her reach. This is to possibly cause confusion if there is a future meeting between these males and her cubs, or maybe to ensure there is genetic diversity within the population. As dusk sets in and Moya gives Hooks a break, we wonder how long the peace will last. Just another day in the life of Hukumuri, and here we have him feeding on a warthog carcass with a hyena. Not 15 minutes ago he was busy wrestling this warthog for his life when this hyena overheard the commotion and came in to investigate. Knowing that leopards are a solitary species, it's crazy to see what courage Hukumuri displays as he faces down this hyena. For if he were to succumb to a serious injury, he would be unable to hunt or defend himself and his territory, thus losing his position and being forced into a less suitable area. A hyena has one of the strongest bite forces in the animal kingdom. This equates to roughly 1100 psi and is rated to be the 7th strongest bite in the world. This jaw strength allows them to feed on old dry skin left behind from a carcass, or even crushed bone. Hukumuri displays such confidence as he faces down this hyena and doesn't allow himself to be put on the back foot. Experiencing such confidence from a leopard is not something this hyena is familiar with. This gives Hooks the upper hand in this confrontation between predators. As the weight of his warthog lessens, Hukumuri attempts to move his kill and hoist it into a nearby bush willow. Unfortunately, his calculations are off. He does not have the strength to get over one of the limbs in his way. After making a second attempt and failing, he takes a breather and gathers himself, looking for the closest tree available he can stash his kill. He is aware of the hyena approaching him from behind. He drops the kill in preparation to defend it. Luckily, the hyena is not looking for a fight this time and takes some scraps left behind. As Hook searches for a suitable branch, he gazes behind him, an attempt to see how much distance he's put between himself and the hyena. Unfortunately, not enough. After wrestling with the warthog and fighting with the hyena, Hooks drags what's left of his kill into the shade of a large jackalberry tree. In the shade he will rest and gather his strength to move once again. After another hard day in Africa, Hukumuri takes his time to rest. But there is no rest for the wicked, and tomorrow waits for no man. Another day has dawned, and Hukumuri is out on patrol once again, scent marking, ensuring that he keeps his boundaries established and keeps his family safe. Not only does scent marking allow him to keep his boundaries established, but it also allows him to portray his social status to the rest of the leopard population. Leopards are opportunistic hunters and have one of the most varied diets within the carnivore family, including species such as squirrels, rabbits, birds, small antelope, pudu, nyala, duiker, and many, many more. Here you see Hukumuri waiting on top of a termite mound and attempting to flush a family of warthogs which have converted it into their warren. As Hooks flushes the female and her 3 little piglets, he times it to perfection and snatches the last piglet as it comes out of the hole. And without fail, a close-by hyena comes in to cause trouble once again. Hukumuri uses his surroundings to his advantage and keeps the trees between him and the hyena before making an escape up another marula tree. The sighting that follows is probably one of the most incredible predator interactions that I've ever seen. So certainly not for sensitive viewers. Please watch your ears. With the hyena and leopard population being in such fierce competition within the Sabi Sands, it is no wonder Hukumuri has learnt this behavior and become fearless of these animals. Within this next scene, you will see Hukumuri fighting yet again over another warthog kill with one of the matriarch hyenas of the EP clan. As the hyena comes in to pick up the kill, Hukumuri swipes her with his left paw, pushing her face into the earth. He bites her once on the left ear. The hyena being slightly disoriented, aided by a few more hits from hooks, she stumbles forward awkwardly, thus giving him an opportunity to grab her behind the ear again. Hooks having a better grip and a position where he is less likely to be injured, he takes the advantage and gives the hyena a few hard tugs, as well as some claws in her back and neck areas. Even after Hooks giving her ear several hard tugs that would leave most in a bloody mess, she powers on and drags the warthog away. You can see the tenacity, courage, and confidence this leopard has in his unwavering attempt to take back his kill. There are 4 hyenas in the immediate area, with the young individual feeding on the main part of the carcass with a big female, and 2 young males feeding on scraps on the outskirts, avoiding confrontation. As Hooks creeps closer to these 2 hyenas, Tiani makes her appearance in the back left. She has overheard the commotion and comes in to investigate. The big female finally sees Hooks and chases him off a short distance. Hukumuri and Tiani share a brief greeting before Hooks gets back to his kill. Tiani being in center screen, Hukumuri approaching from the right, he takes advantage of the young hyena left feeding on what remains of his warthog. With a dash of speed, he grabs the remains and heads up a tree to safety. That was a close call, with the hyena only missing his tail by mere centimeters. Thank you for joining me on this journey as I shared with you some of my best experiences with Hukumuri. Know that these clips are filmed between April 2019 and March 2021. Towards the end of Hukumuri's life, he was under immense pressure from surrounding leopard populations as well as having some physical injuries, possibly due to his behavior with hyenas and/or being a warthog specialist. He was being pressured by a new male within the Sabi Sands known as the tortoise pan male. He was then pushed north into an area called the Manuleti, where he found pressure from other male leopards. From here, he moved out of the reserve and into the community lands, where he took advantage of easy prey items in the community livestock. Because of this conflict and danger to their children's lives, the community reached out to the local authorities who attempted to trap him, but were unsuccessful. After numerous attempts, the last resort was to euthanize him. You can learn more about the life of Hukumuri and his death from sources such as Wild Earth and Painted Dog TV. All video, voiceover, and post-production was compiled by Dylan Nelson. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I hope to see you again soon.